Hello, everybody from Phoenix, Arizona. We are at PMI Global Summit, and I'm glad to share. I have with me one of the esteemed thought leaders, Tanya. I'll let her introduce herself. So I'm so glad that she accepted my invitation and share her thoughts, and so we are esteemed and honored. So, Tanya, would you like to tell us something about yourself?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Hi, I'm Tanya Boyd. I am from Lafayette, Louisiana. I used to serve on the PMI Baton Rouge board. Currently, I work for Project Success Academy in Corbeau Tech as their Director of Creative Collaborations. And I'm stoked to be back here with the PMI community, and this time with the ability to talk tomorrow in a session. So thank you for inviting me.
Yes, and you have a great topic. Would you like to talk for a quick second about your topic as well, so that audience can?
Sure,
Yes.
sure. So being from Louisiana, I have to always tie things in a very memorable and unique way. So this particular talk is going to be on gumbo, the secret to the secret mindset to project success. So anybody that knows me or follows the Swamp Talks knows I operate in acronyms, but gumbo is about growth, uniqueness, meaningful outcomes, belonging, and ownership. And so tomorrow at 2 p.m., I will be weaving that tale of how it applies to the project management community.
Wonderful. Excellent. It's going to be a great talk. I know it. This is going to be outstanding. So
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
So we have a short interview. So I have a couple of questions for Tanya to share her expertise and thought leading input. So first question, Tanya, how do you see artificial intelligence and its positive impact on our profession and how things are shaping up? Anything you would like to share? That would be great.
Absolutely. So I have always considered myself to be a creative, but sometimes there were limitations, like I can't exactly draw. I always wanted to do animation, just so many things I did not know how to do. So AI, when I first started using it, I wound up using it a lot more for creative images to get out what was inside of my head and find a tool that could help me draw, help my imagination. And so through that journey, I first started learning AI through the images and also being a beta tester on PMI's Infinity. And so that was a very unique and interesting project because we had to use the 14 different guides. So for anybody, it's not just the PMBOK, it's CAPM, it's RISC. PMI has that whole learning center, but we used every single one of those guides and had to structure 14 prompts each in 7 different ways. So that exercise at the end of 2023 taught me a lot about how to prompt differently. I've been following along on all of PMI's journey that they come out with the free learning courses. And then, of course, in day to day work, just different things like you can use it to speed up your risk registers, like whether you're in construction, whether you're in engineering, healthcare. You can basically ask AI, hey, I work for a $5 million healthcare company. I want to get a list of the top 100 risks that may impact this specific industry. So it at least gives you that list. You can keep refining, and then you can go into the room with your stakeholders with your risk ready list and say, which one of these do you think is going to impact your industry the most? So that in itself probably saves about, I don't know, 2 or 3 JAD sessions that are all days. If you relied on the stakeholders to think of them, use that tool to do the thinking first, tailor it very quickly, and then it enables you to just go in and drive the conversation.
Wow, that is,
So
yeah.
and I tell people, I was like, people are very scared of AI. And PMI does have some great prompting strategies. I think it was the 3rd or the 4th course that had that wonderful workbook. But I don't want people to walk away thinking you need to memorize those. I tell people approach AI like you're approaching another human being and just have a conversation with it. If it doesn't give you enough, do like you would do a tough stakeholder and say, can you give me more? Can you drill that down further? Can you tell me the reason why? Okay, that's good, but could you expand on this? And it will keep drilling down. So just think of it in human terms, like you're talking to a stakeholder where you're needing more information, and you'll go a lot further with it.
Wow, that is beautifully summed up, Tanya.
Thank
That
you.
is brings the essence into it. And as Tanya mentioned, she was the beta tester for the Infinity, and we just learned this morning that Infinity 3 is also launched, and so it's coming together. So Tanya has helped support over the years, and this thing is coming next level. So appreciate it. This is
Thank you.
this is really we know it's a cutting edge and it's a learning, and we can all be on the journey together. But it's fantastic. So thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
On the flip side, quick question: do you see any challenges or any um, adoption hurdles you feel that some organizations, or in your experience, you have
Yes.
seen? So if you'd like to share anything.
There's a lot of challenges and there's a lot of things that we need to give thought to, such as the ethics. I have seen instances of bias in the machine. That was probably a little bit earlier on. One of the challenges that I faced, because I was trying to get it to do realistic images to help my PowerPoints and my presentations and drive the story forward, but just even making sure that you're being globally representative of people, different perspectives, different ethnicities, just different types. Earlier on, like I said, there were some biases in the machine that you have to be smart enough to navigate through. And you have to know that it hallucinates sometimes. I'll give you a concrete example. So PMI has more. All of us that are here knows that's manage perceptions, own project success, relentlessly reassess, and expand perspectives. When I would try to get it to tailor more, it was maximize operational efficiencies. It would change the context. And so it does it with a lot of things. It doesn't get everything right. So there's always going to be a need for quality assurance and the human in the mix that makes sure that this thing is staying on track and that the outcomes and the outputs of it make sense for the context that you're using. And then one other slight risk, I am very much an old school person. So sometimes it's very difficult for me to balance my brain because I do tend to use the tool so much that sometimes I feel really reliant on it, kind of like when you're in the car and you GPS, but your internet goes out and you're like, how do I find my way around? Same thing with ChatGPT. Make sure to step away from it at times so you don't have an over reliance on it and you can think on your own 2 feet. But to me, that's just, it's humanity, it's constant evolution.
Right.
You need that balance of both worlds.
Perfect. Thank you, Tanya. This is really helpful to see for the audience to see both perspectives. Really appreciate you taking your valuable time, and
Thank you.
So I'm sure your session is going to go great, and once we have a little bit more, we can talk about that as well.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you. Thank you, audience.